So I want to do a video on one of the most frustrating things about home theater. And please like and subscribe. You know how much that helps. I'm starting a new series, basically setting up a home theater from scratch. I was going to run speaker wires up the wall, right? I used a Franklin stud finder and found out that I've got cross bracing going across. So I would have just ripped my walls apart. So what I did is I went with these panels, and they're acoustic panels, so I could mount these speakers up high. Seriously, it's been years since I've had a good 5.2.4 surround system. The front heights, they do something really nice when you have the space for them. And hearing the full SVS Ultra Evolution series speakers, it's something else. It's been good. But anyway, how do you run the wires up the wall? I will turn on these lights so you can see what I've done. I got these standouts, right? So there's space behind this. I'm solving two problems at once. It goes all the way up and you can't see the wires. And you come down and you can't see the wires because it's hidden by this. I'm going to add some more details in the video description below. I'm just trying to keep this video brief. If you have any clever or simple solutions that you've seen or used yourself, put it in the comments below to help others who are watching this video. There are also ways to run cables inside walls like mine, but if you look at those videos, you might see why I was hesitant. My big advice points here are to go as easy as you can. Try and be creative. If you can run it, like I ran it under this baseboard, and I did the same over here. They're all hidden underneath the baseboard. You can do that with carpet. I also did the same thing back here. You can't see the wires. You can see a little bit sticking out there. And that's another thing there, is that when you choose your wires, go with the color that's going to blend. If that was black, it'd really show up, right? So this is working out really well. Now, if there's something you can take from this idea, like doing maybe full-length wall-mounted indirect light that also hides wires, right on, great. Whatever works for you. I was going for a clean, symmetrical look, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it works for me. And your solution is a personal preference, and this is my answer. It's not the answer. My thing is, do it as easily as possible. And if you can do room treatments, that's just a highlight, right? The acoustics in this room are not bad. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then there's one more thing I'll show you. Look at that. I can run that all the way up if I want to. I have the choice of running these lights, those lights, both of them together. If I turn those LED lights off, you won't even know they're there. Go stealth as much as you can. Pay attention to wire color. Last resort is using those channels like I used in the last theater when we moved out. It took off like chunks of wall with them. So they're supposed to be renter friendly. It wasn't. That's another thing to be aware of. You can run speaker wire up through the curtains. I've done that before. And that's great, as long as it's not obvious, right? That's the big thing. Now, if you're doing a new build, by all means, run wire and run more wire than you need to, and run thicker wire. I'm running 14 gauge, and I'm having no problems whatsoever. It's not an issue. These wires aren't a long enough run to make it an issue. If this was a room 4 or 5 times the size, 12 or 10 gauge would be appropriate. And by the way, the template for these came in super handy. They're not right in the center of the panel, but as you can see, it stayed symmetrical. I kind of like this look, but it's fluid. I can change it. That's the other thing, is these have a sticky back to them. If you stick them to the wall, there goes your wiring channel. I've got my wires going down. Having the standouts makes it so I can put lighting behind it. If I go to pull it off, it's not going to pull off any wall. And if I want to take those standoffs out, those are just one little screw hole. So I've got 4 screw holes for each panel. That's easy to patch up. That's nothing. If you do something major, then you're talking drywall repair, and it's a lot more complicated to get that right. Another thing is I used leather punches for the holes and a small cardboard template with squared edges. Using a drill on felt seemed like a gamble, and I didn't want to do that. The leather punches worked really well. So this is just my first installment of home theater basics. We're covering things like dialogue is something that it took several years for me to get right because it frustrated me so much. If you don't get it right, it will bother you and bother you and bother you. And if you don't know how to get it right, it's bad. So Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more stuff on the basics, getting started from nothing. If you're starting and you know nothing, or you've built 10 of them, there's going to be some information in here somewhere that's going to help you. I've got more to come. There's some exciting gear coming out. My favorite subs have been refreshed, so stay tuned for that. I am really excited to hear those. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe.